Observational humor. This is finding the funny in everyday life. It's the have you ever noticed style of comedy. The humor comes from pointing out the small, relatable absurdities we all experience but rarely talk about, like the strange walk people do when you pass them on a narrow sidewalk, or the weird dances someone begins to do while at a music concert. It works because it creates a shared moment of recognition. Self deprecating. This is a humor directed at yourself. Instead of making fun of others, you highlight your own flaws, mistakes, or insecurities. It's a powerful tool because it makes you appear humble and relatable, disarming the audience and building a connection. When done well, it's charming. When overdone, it can seem like a plea for pity. Slapstick, the oldest form of comedy. This is humor derived from physical mishaps, exaggerated movements, and pratfalls. Think slipping on a banana peel, getting a pie in the face, or exaggerated facial expressions. It's visual, universal, and doesn't rely on language, making it accessible to almost anyone. Hyperbole. This is humor through extreme exaggeration. Hyperbole takes a real situation or feeling and amplifies it to an absurd, impossible degree for comedic effect. It's not just a long line, it's a line so long, people at the back have aged into retirement. The comedy comes from the dramatic gap between reality and the inflated description, highlighting a relatable truth in an outrageous way. Parody. This is humor through imitation. Parody mimics the specific style, conventions, or tone of a well-known work, artist, or genre in order to make fun of its quirks and cliches. It's a form of comedic tribute that works by exaggerating the source material's distinctive features. For a parody to land, the audience must be familiar with the original. The humor is in recognizing the imitation and appreciating the clever exaggeration. Satire. Satire uses humor, irony, and exaggeration to criticize and expose the flaws and foolishness of people, corporations, or governments. Its goal isn't just to be funny, but to make a point and provoke thought. A famous example is The Daily Show. Sarcasm. Sarcasm is the sharp, often cutting form of verbal irony. Saying "what a beautiful day" during a thunderstorm is irony. Saying "nice of you to show up on time" to someone who is late is sarcasm. It relies on the listener understanding the subtext. Dark humor. This type of comedy makes light of serious, taboo, or tragic subjects like death, disease, and misfortune. It's a coping mechanism, a way to deal with fear or hardship by laughing at it. The joke isn't about the tragedy itself, but about the absurdity of the situation. This humor is divisive. It's not for everyone. Blue humor. This is risque, off-color, or vulgar comedy. It deals explicitly with topics like sex, bodily functions, and other taboos. It's the kind of humor that makes some people roar with laughter and others gasp. It's not subtle. Think of a comedian telling a story that you definitely would not repeat at your grandmother's dinner table. Wordplay. This is intellectual humor based on cleverness with language. Puns, double entendres, and quick, sharp remarks fall into this category. It's about the unexpected and clever use of words. A pun, for example, exploits the different possible meanings of a word. It's often called the highest form of humor because it requires mental agility. Absurdist humor. This humor defies logic and reason entirely. It creates comedy from bizarre, nonsensical, and illogical situations. Think of a sketch where a man is having a serious conversation with a talking lobster about tax law. There's no punchline in the traditional sense. The humor comes from the sheer unpredictability and absurdity of the scenario. Cringe humor. This comedy intentionally creates feelings of secondhand embarrassment or awkwardness. The humor is in the tension of watching a socially painful situation unfold. You're often laughing while simultaneously wanting to look away. It exploits the gap between how a character sees themselves and how the audience sees them. Improv, short for improvisation, this is comedy created entirely in the moment, without a script. Performers build scenes, characters, and jokes based on audience suggestions. The humor comes from the spontaneity, the quick thinking, and the yes in principle, where actors accept and build on each other's ideas, leading to unexpected and often hilarious outcomes.